Hello everybody and welcome back. This is the 8th video from Hacking with Python series, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a script that is a subdomain scanner. So what is a subdomain scanner and why we want to use it? So let's say that you have a website, so let's go to python.org for the moment. Okay? And you can see that it has a lot of subdomains. So documentation is a subdomain, so you can see slash doc, right? Community, about page, all of that stuff. And if you are, let's say, in a CTF and you want to find all subdomains of a website without having to um examine the website and try all the possible URLs, you can use this tool. So how are we going to build this? First of all, we're going to use a library called requests. So let's go ahead and install this. Open up your command prompt or your terminal if you're on Linux or Mac, and type pip install requests like that. Now this shouldn't give you an error. As you can see, it does not give me an error. It is on white color. If your output is in red color, this means that you have an error, so you have to fix pip. I will leave some links in the description on how to do that. Now that we have that let's go ahead and import requests, and this is the only module we're going to use. So first of all, we need a variable for the actual domain we're scanning. So I'm going to create a domain variable, and let's say I'm testing google.com. Okay, now we also need a file where we are going to scan all the subdomains, right? So to do this, create a new file, and I'm just going to call mine subdomains.txt. Open this up, and here we are going to paste in all the URLs you are going to test. Now, there are some really popular word lists about subdomains, so I'm going to leave some links about that in the description. Okay. Alright, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and create a file variable which will store everything that subdomain has, and it will be actually a type of file, not int, not string, not something like that. It will be file. So after creating, which we will do by typing open and then its name subdomains.txt, we need to actually have a string format of this file of every and single line. So how are we going to do this? Well, to do this, let's create firstly a content variable which will have everything of um file, and this will be in string format, but we also want an array or a list of all the subdomains um in every line. So let's say I had slash home in here, then after that I wanted to have, let's say, slash about, right? I don't want to make a whole program about find this slash and then adding that to a separate array or something like that. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to say that, hey, from I'm going to have a subdomains variable, and this will be content.splitlines, and this does automatically everything for us, and we'll have an array of strings, and every string represents a line of this text, right? Now, the last thing we're going to use is a discovered list. So what this is, it is just a basic list where we're going to store all the subdomains we just found. So I'm going to call it discovered like that, and this bracket means that it is a list, right? So I can put, let's say, hello and stuff like that. Okay. Now I want to iterate through every subdomain of all my subdomains that are stored in here. So for every line of this txt file, right? Okay. So how to do this? Well, we say for subdomain, this is a variable that I just created with the for, right? So for subdomain in subdomains like that, what this means is it says create a new subdomain, and every time we loop, a new subdomain will be created and it will have the next string, the next line basically. Okay. I really explain everything because I want this to be as beginner friendly as possible. And now we have faced an error. So if you pay attention, let's like let's go to Python again, python.org. If we go to a certain subdomain, so let's say downloads, you can see that it doesn't just have python.org. No, it has https colon slash slash, right? So what you want to do here is add this https colon slash slash. So to do this, create a new variable called url, and this will be an f string. I've explained a lot of things what this is. So it basically can print variables just by typing those two brackets, but basically for it just does this. So format. Okay, I'm going to explain what this is. So we want to say https colon slash slash. Also, if you're if the domain you are scanning does not have is not secure, so it is http, make sure to remove this s. Okay, so we're going to format after this the subdomain like that, and then dot the domain. Okay, now can vary from website to another. So you can see here it has slashes. You can change that depending on the website you want to scan. And now because we didn't actually create an f string, and I didn't do this because for some code editors it doesn't work by default. So for the sake of this video and to keep it more simple, I'm just going to do it like that. So I'm going to paste that in, take subdomain, paste also that in, and make sure to leave the comma in between. Okay. So what this means, it means that go to the URL that it is https colon slash slash, then the subdomain, then dot, and then what is this bracket variable value? It's the domain's value, right? So it doesn't print it doesn't scan for these brackets. Instead it replaces those brackets to the value of domain, or in the first one for the value of subdomain. Okay, now we're going to try to get the URL, right? So to sorry, and we're going to try to get the URL. So how are we going to do this? To make a get request in Python, you want to type requests dot get. So you make a get request, Now there are lots of methods. Get is one of them. Post is another famous one, but we're going to concentrate on get because post request is for passwords. So we want to go ahead and type a get request, and that can lead us to an error. So what is this error? That means that the URL with this subdomain does not exist. So let's pass this for now, and if this does not return any error, I'm just going to store it in the domains on in the discovered list. Okay, so how do we do this? We append to the list, which means add, because if you wrote, let's say, write, this would mean delete every single element and then replace it with what we're going to pass in. And inside of append, we're going to just put URL, right? Because we want to open the URL we just created. Alright, so I think this is everything we need, yes. Now that we have the discovered list filled in, all I'm going to do is iterate through the subdomain, the discovered domain list, and just print out every single domain. Okay, so you can even like store this somewhere or something like that. So to do this, just to for subdomain, wait, for subdomain in discovered, like that, and then you just want to print subdomain and URL set. You can even like say discovered domain and then put this, but I will leave this up to you. I wanted this to be a really tutorial, as you can probably say. It is only 22 lines. It is not even hard. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. For now, bye.